Music is defined as the science or art of incorporating intelligible combinations of tones into a composition having structure and continuity. Music is magical. For centuries, music has been telling the story of many cultures. Today, thanks to researchers and neurological scientists, music has proven to have the power to change moods, to lift spirits, to soothe troubled souls, as well as enhancing health and expanding educational horizons, as well as telling the story of history. There's such a wealth of information in the area of music that today's program will be brought to you in a two-part series. Today, we will focus on the benefits of music for young children. One of the most soothing instruments is the harp. We're fortunate to be here today with accomplished harpist Jody Frankel. Jody, can you tell us a little bit about your musical background?
Well, I've been studying harp for 13 years, and I majored in harp. I did a BA at Rutgers University, and just been enjoying it and working at it my whole life so far.
Wow, so you've been playing the harp then for a very long time. I've heard of even moms that are delivering babies, that they bring the harp into the delivery room to make a soothing atmosphere for mom and for the newborn baby. Do you think that that can really have an effect on soothing the environment?
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of studies right now that are either recently have come out or are in kind of the works right now about a process called entrainment, where playing soothing music with a kind of slow beat, they say around 60 beats per minute, and that's where they notice there's kind of phenomenon called entrainment that happens. And in entrainment, the human heart kind of synchronizes itself to the soothing music, and so even though a situation may be very stressful or painful, you kind of unconsciously are slowing yourself down, and it's slowing your blood pressure and your respiration down to a calmer rate, and that kind of through the soothing tones of the music as well as through kind of synchronizing yourself to it, it calms the mother and also the baby, and it's also useful in a lot of other applications of medicine, such as dentistry or even with oncology patients or people are going through uncomfortable procedures. It helps them to calm themselves and soothe themselves.
Wow, that's really wonderful. So if we're feeling very stressed or we have to go to the dentist and we want to calm ourselves down, to have harp music or some kind of soothing music can really be beneficial then.
Oh, absolutely.
That's wonderful. What about all of the new things with Mozart for babies and all the classical music that they're saying that it affects babies' brain development? What do you feel about that kind of thing?
I think it's wonderful. It definitely does have an effect on children. It's just that people need to realize that there's kind of levels of involving music in your child's life. You know, something like a baby Mozart or a baby Bach, where they put a video in and it's playing, you know, wonderful classical music with very bright images on the TV. That's really wonderful, and it does stimulate brain patterns and it does help the children, but that's just one level. What you really want to look for when you're involving a child in music is something that's very integrative, that, you know, incorporates social, emotional, physical, and cognitive development into the music. So that's something where, you know, the child is not only listening to the music, but, you know, singing along in their own little way if they're vocalizing it, or if they're not vocalizing, being moved to the music, or playing along if they're older with bells or rhythm sticks, or even a circle dance where they're holding hands and they're involved in a community. So it's very, community of music, I guess, it's very social, but it also has the emotional aspects. For example, in a song like London Bridge, when you're falling down, you know, children learn, okay, I fell down, but I get up. But it's just adding layers and layers onto the musical growth and development.
Right. Well, that's wonderful. It sounds like, so for all the moms and teachers out there, Mozart is good, but it's important to sing to your baby and have a lot of hands-on experiences besides just putting the tape in. So, and it sounds like music can have a lot of other benefits socially, as you said, also. How old do you think children should be exposed to music? How old should they be when they start being exposed to musical experiences?
Well, it depends on the musical experience. For example, with newborns, there's a lot of studies that show just holding your newborn and rocking the child to music, you're helping them with vestibular stimulation, which helps in digestion. It also helps them soothe and learn to relax, because children don't know that you have to teach them, which is kind of, it sounds a little silly, but it's true. So as young as newborns can really benefit from being sung to or rocked to music. Even making nonsense sounds back and forth, you're encouraging them to communicate by making a silly sound. They may, reciprocate that sound. In terms of lessons, generally there's some approaches where you can start children as young as 3.5, such as the Suzuki approach, where it focuses on ear training, introduces note reading later when children are more cognitively developed and able to have better attention. So there are approaches for very young, but it really has to depend on your child. As long as you have some degree of music in their life, you're definitely helping them.
That's wonderful. So it's never too early then to actually start exposing children to music.
Absolutely.
So do you actually teach harp? How young do children are they when you start actually teaching them harp lessons?
The youngest child I've so far taught is about 5, but I do also teach kinder music, where I start children as young as newborns, and I don't teach them harp there, but they do learn other instruments that are age appropriate. So it really does depend on what the child is for, but harp I definitely say probably around 5, because the instrument's so big.
Right.
You can use smaller harps, but sometimes if it's a very small folk harp, the sound, it's pretty, but it's not as kind of resonant, so it doesn't sound as nice for the children. They kind of pick up on that.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Jody, for not only sharing your wonderful music with us, but for all these tips for parents and teachers. And so it's important to expose your children to music at a very early age and to give them lots of variety and lots of hands-on experience with their music. Thank you very much, Jody. Hi, girls. You are really pretty good at playing today. Did you enjoy playing the harp?
Yes.
Yes. What did you like about it? What was your favorite thing? Marielle?
I like when you make the music, because it sounds very good.
It does sound very good, doesn't it? What about you, Jen? What do you like about the music?
I like when it musics.
You like when it musics. Well, that's a good idea. And did you ever play that instrument before?
No.
No? Do you know what that's called? Do you know what it's called, Paula? Marielle, do you know?
No, but I saw one before.
You saw one before? It's called a harp.
Oh, yeah.
Can you say that? A harp?
Harp.
Harp, yes. Do you play any musical instruments at home? You
I-
do? What do you play?
Jingle bell.
You play jingle bells. What do you play jingle bells on?
Jingle bells.
Do you sing jingle bells? Yes.
I know it, all the words.
You know all the words? Do you play any music at home?
Yeah.
What kind of music do you play?
I play every kind of music, that kind of music thing they have there. I have a little kid music thing.
You have little kid music. Well, that's wonderful. Do you have music at home, Marielle?
Yes, I play the piano.
You play the piano. Wow. And what songs do you play on the piano?
I only know how to do one thing.
And what is that you know how to do?
I do the ones, I press the white one, then I go black, white, black, white, black, white.
So you go white, black, and then that comes out to be a song?
Yep.
That's very nice. Well, can you all take a bow? Can you turn around and face the camera and take a bow for playing so nicely? Can you take a little bow? Thank you very much. That was wonderful.